Hello, Africa. This is Business Africa, and I am Ignatius Ano. Our top stories. A Somaliland migrant commits $500 million of his own wealth in the next 10 years to empower Somalilanders. We hear the remarkable story of WorldRemit founder Ismail Ahmed on this ambitious project. Global demand for liquefied natural gas hits record high despite the pandemic. Imports of LNG jumps by 5.8% in March this year. And a little later, we're in South Africa, where an ex-IT professional is helping to source quality coffee beans from local farmers, thus eliminating the practice of middlemen. Bean There Coffee is celebrating 16 years in fair trade. Details right now. Let's begin the program with the remarkable story of Ismail Ahmed. The 59-year-old migrant from Somaliland is simply a man on a mission to give back to a country literally shunned by global powers. Somaliland has a growing number of tech hubs. Ismail Ahmed founded the now-famed money transfer company, WorldRemit, and this Horn of Africa nation was its first market. Today, Somaliland's mobile tech infrastructure is considered as one of the best on the continent, and the WorldRemit founder is poised to have a huge impact on Somalilanders. We'll speak to Ismail shortly, but first, here's his incredible journey to becoming a business tycoon.
Ismail Ahmed left his native Somaliland to further his education on a scholarship at the London Business School in the United Kingdom. Through remittances from his brother, who used to work in Saudi Arabia, he got his plane ticket to access education. That was in 1988. Ahmed exposed corruption and was treated unfairly when he helped run a money transfer project as part of a United Nations Development Programme initiative in the organization's Somalia Remittance Programme. In 2010, the 59-year-old was awarded £200,000 in compensation for the aforementioned mistreatment. Ahmed then used the funds to launch WorldRemit. Today, the global money transfer company allows migrants to send money to more than 130 countries. In 2020, WorldRemit sent over 50 million customer payments worth nearly $10 billion. It's a full-circle moment for the founder and chairman of WorldRemit, as this once mistreated employee turned business mogul is now giving back in a big way. Ahmed has pledged to commit 50% of his wealth and investments in the next 10 years to fund development programs in Somaliland.
Ismail Ahmed is founder and chairman of WorldRemit. He joins us from London in the United Kingdom. Thank you for sharing your time with us on the program today. So first, let's start with the ambitious $500 million that you have committed to Somaliland in the next 10 years. Which sectors of the economy are these funds going to support, and what's the intention behind this generosity?
This time, I think I'm in a fortunate position to say over the next 10 years, my ambition is to commit as much as $500 million of what I intend to make from WorldRemit. And it's a continuation of that culture of kind of self-help, wealth sharing. The focus of those would be, as I said, on education, particularly literacy and health. Literacy is key to improve productivity and poverty reduction, empowerment of women, and enhance political participation. And literacy is also necessary to facilitate a lifelong learning that we need in today's fast-changing world.
You've launched the Sahamiya Foundation to tackle Somaliland's development challenges. How would you use this platform to help unlock the Horn of Africa's entrepreneurial potential?
I think it's first important to recognize that Somaliland growth and development has been largely private sector led. So we have a lot of successful entrepreneurship on the ground. Somaliland today is closer to a cashless economy than anywhere else, thanks to homegrown hugely successful mobile money services led by the private sector. Somalia has also been fortunate to attract investment, particularly from the diaspora. What I intend to do is to invest and support tech hubs, accelerator, the tech accelerators that help, scale, some of the growing businesses locally.
And how are you leveraging on the successes of WorldRemit to inspire other entrepreneurs, not only in Somaliland, but on the continent, to go big?
I think you quite rightly highlighted the critical role of the remittances and diaspora, not only in Somaliland, but across Africa. What I want a lot of the other diaspora, African diaspora to do is to kind of not only send funds, which I have been doing quite rightly. Before I left Somaliland, I was a recipient of remittances. And in fact, my last transaction was, as you correctly said, was my ticket to the UK to study here in the UK. And then since then, I've been sending money back. Now we've got a lot of the diaspora are now going beyond sending money and sharing what they have learned, the skills they've learned, and investing back home, kind of. So I think that's where we are. And in fact, Africa now, like in Somaliland, doesn't only need the funds that are sent by the diaspora. I think the expertise and knowledge of the diaspora is critically needed for us to, particularly in the fast-changing world where, where I think, in the knowledge-based digital economies, we need the talent to help us grow our economies.
Great talking to you on the program. Thank you.
Glad talking to you.
Import for global liquefied natural gas has jumped by 5.8% in 2021. It's the largest uptick since March 2020. Despite the coronavirus health crisis, global capacity for liquefaction has climbed 5% to 464 million tons per year. Now, this is largely driven by the start of several projects in the United States. Exports from Algeria, Egypt and Oman have also increased significantly. According to data, global liquefaction capacity is expected to almost double by 2040, now reaching over 800 million tons per year. That's a 91% increase over 2020.
Liquefied natural gas, LNG deliveries expanded the most in a year as Asia and Europe refilled inventories drained over the winter. It comes as pandemic-ravaged economies slowly began to reopen. Imports jumped 5.8% in March from a year earlier, the biggest increase since March 2020, according to a ship tracking data compiled by Bloomberg. Demand for the fuel used in heating and power generation had been steadily growing before COVID-19 as nations shift away from coal-fired power over climate concerns. Practical and relatively inexpensive, nearly 45 countries now have LNG import capacity. Most recently, Myanmar, Ghana and Senegal. Gas emits much less carbon dioxide than coal and emits fewer pollutants. From this point of view, many experts say it is a good substitute for heavy fuel oil in maritime transport.
And in South Africa, a coffee company is celebrating 16 years of dealing in fair trade. Being their coffee company is buying directly from small-scale farmers and cooperatives, thus doing away with activities of middlemen. The company says it is determined to take African coffee bean to the world. From Johannesburg, our correspondent Karabo Lehakla files this report.
Meet Jonathan Robinson, a former IT professional who woke up and smelled the Java. Inspired by an idea from a friend in Canada, Jonathan set out on a fair trade coffee movement in Africa. But after 16 years of trading, what does fair trade mean today?
We have worked with the same farmers in the same regions because we pay the best. And that's probably it. If another roaster comes along and offers them more money, they should, and I would encourage them to take it if we can't do it.
Being their coffee company sources from cooperatives of small-scale farmers, eliminating middlemen. From Ethiopia, Kenya, the DRC to Burundi and Tanzania, they source from only high-quality region per country and sell at a premium.
when we've had investors look at our business before, they've often said, Jonathan, one of your problems in your business is that you pay too much for coffee. And I said, obviously, that's why we're in business. I believe in that's, if we're going to change things, we need to put our necks out and say that this product is worth more than we are currently paying.
Being There has already exported a small amount of their coffee to the US, UK and Europe, but the COVID-19 pandemic has slowed things down.
We've definitely been quite significantly down. We're probably operating about 65% of our normal situation.
Despite the COVID snag, Jonathan believes in the growth of the product.
That's it for Business Africa. You can be a part of the program via our various social media handles. Follow me on Twitter @IgnatiusAnum. Also, head over to africanews.com for the entire program and more. I thank you for watching and goodbye.